Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward back for another BuckIQ here at Lettermen Row. Got my man Zach Boren. We're in that middle stretch here of bowl preparation. Ohio State getting ready for the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, but we've got to find some stuff to keep talking about the end of the season for the Big Ten champions.
Man, we're missing some action.
I know. It's got to get back on the practice field. We got to get some film to break down. So I did throw you a little bit of curveball, and that's pretty literal.
Curveball.
Pretty literal in this case. Washington and Chris Petersen, Zach, have been known wherever he's been throughout his career. Dial up these trick plays. We've seen it a few times for Ohio State this year. They're hard to defend.
Ever since Chris Petersen was at Boise State and did the Statue of Liberty play against Oklahoma, that's what he's been known for, right? That's kind of been his mantra. But especially getting ready for a Chris Petersen team in a bowl game where they have 6 weeks to get ready for a game, you know he's going to throw something at you, whether it be just a different formation, whether it be trick plays. He's always has something up his sleeve, and that's what he's known for.
If you're on the field and something starts to feel a little fishy, what is that like for a guy out there?
Screaming and yelling. You know, it's one of those things where there is a lot of communication going on before the snap. You know, while guys are going in motion, when guys break the huddle, there is a lot of talk going on. But it comes back to what we've talked about all year, right? There is some point of reaction that you have to have as a defender, knowing, feeling. You have to trust your eyes, right? Your eyes are your greatest weapon as a defender. And so when you see something different, you got to get your head on a swivel, find what's going on, and react to it.
So they're trick plays, they're gimmick plays for a reason. They're hard to defend. They catch you off guard. So I'm trying to throw Zach for a loop. We're going to see how he handles it today. Let's roll the tape.
He's kicked a lot of field goals this year, 11 of 14 from 30 yards to make the lead 7. And it's a fake. And the holder takes off. And is going to be knocked down at the 9-yard line. All
right, Zach, let's start with one that kind of helped change the season. Maybe wound up contributing to Ohio State not making the playoff. A fake field goal, a little action on the road against Purdue. Just got to be a sick feeling when you're back there trying to defend that.
It most definitely is, and especially in this situation, 7-3, you know, Ohio State was not playing well offensively. They're going for the all-out block here, trying to make a big play on defense. And Purdue it's a perfect call at the perfect time, and I think that's I'm gonna say that a lot over these next couple clips. But you know, this is just a perfect time call. Granted, Jordan Fuller was in the back, he recognized it, but when you have a tight end in this scenario that's going out for a pass, you have to be able to cover. You have to be able to cover for him, and you'll see this guy get out. And they do this on purpose so they're able to hold Jordan Fuller. And they've also got another guy out here that's going to be lead blocking or leaking out for a pass. So they've got two options. Everyone's coming. You got Malik Harrison that's over on this side. Granted, he doesn't see it right away, but really you've got 1 against 3 in this situation. You're the holder, and you've got your tight end and your wing all on Jordan Fuller.
We go back to that first view. If you're coming through and you get through as easily, should that be a panic? Like, oh, this isn't how it normally happens for me.
Yes and no. I mean, there's times where, you know, you're taught, hey, there's someone on my outside, and sometimes, especially the tight end, he's trying to hit on number 12 right here. And so, you know, if you're Warner, you're getting through, and you're like, all right, I got a clean look at this, right? But even in this situation, it's hard to put your foot in the ground, plant, and retreat, you know, especially when you're trying to go full go and trying to get a block. I think maybe Kendall Sheffield needs to be able to see something with him being the outside guy and maybe hold contain. But still, it's hard when these guys are going full speed thinking in my mind, hey, I'm going to get a big play for this team. I'm going to block the field goal. And then they get outside and get leverage on you.
And as you say, a perfect call at a perfect opportunity. Sometimes, you know, my question is, why not be more aggressive if you know the teams want to come after it? But I mean, that's credit to Purdue and not necessarily an indictment here for Ohio State.
No, I completely agree. You see so many times that Ohio State plays, you know, field goal safe. What happens if they play field goal safe in this scenario? Purdue kicks it, and it's an easy make, you know? So it's 6 one way, half dozen the other.
In the second half. KJ Hill is deep. And Lee's hits a fake, and it's caught. Will they get the first down? They do! Inside the 35, Jacobs to the 30-yard line.
So another one that popped up here later for Ohio State. This one is coming on a punt, and again a situation where Ohio State wants to be aggressive. They, you know, had made something big happen with punt blocks in other games, and then you get burned.
What did I just say in the last clip? It's
perfect play.
Know, perfect play at the perfect time, right? Urban Meyer's mantra is, hey, we're gonna attack punts. You know, that's their big thing. You saw it against the Michigan game. when they get a blocked punt, it's just huge for the Ohio State defense. This is that time, right? The Maryland game was a grind the entire time. They are coming after it. Maryland knows it. They just had the guts to, in a better word, right? They had the guts to call it right here in the fourth quarter, tie ball game, and they come up with a huge play. Granted, I think it's holding right here. I saw it at the time. I thought it was holding. But still, it's hard to defend, especially when you see all these guys coming. Hilliard is your safe guy right here. He bails back, but you'll see there's 3 blockers that pick up on him and almost pick him and getting over there. It's just a perfect play call at the perfect time. You'll see Hilliard right here. There's 3 guys all blocking him, you know, and they bring number 12 across. Maybe one of these guys should have seen it. Maybe number 10 here should have followed him. Who knows? But at the same time, in that point, when you know it's an all-out block, in the back of your mind, you're not thinking, hey, I need to see the fake, or I think a fake would be coming. It's, hey, I'm pinning my ears back and I'm going to block this punt.
I think it was towards the end of your career, Zach, where some of these newer funky formations for punts were starting to become more prevalent. It feels like there are a lot more options for what you can do coming out of this. I mean, what are your memories of learning how to do this or seeing some of that become more common?
There is. We were always pro style up until Coach Meyer came in, and Coach Meyer brought a whole new punt scheme, which is exactly like this. I was the quarterback, the middle guy in the back shield. I'm going to be honest, we had some fakes. You know, I'm sure they still do now. But it's just one of those things where you're able to do some weird things, funky things like this. You're able to send guys in motion, which we see all the time. You know, it's just like this. You know, you saw Hilliard see it, but there's guys coming from the right side that are blocking back on him. There's just so many different options that you can do from this punt formation. But what I do have to say, it is vulnerable to the block. We've seen it, right? How many times has Ohio State blocked a punt?
Right.
And it's because of this formation where, guys, there's wide gaps. You're able to double gap guys and put guys in bad situations. But you give some and you got to take some, right?
Yep. That's the give and take always in college football.
Some confidence. First down at the 33. Here's the reverse. Flea flicker. Thorson drops it off short. Bowser. First down. Sticks his foot in the ground and picks up.
Maybe one that's a little bit easier, I don't know, hopefully for you to diagnose, Zach. I threw these 2 wild curve balls at you. This is just, you see something, a really weird double reverse pass here coming. What is a defensive responsibility here? And it wound up just being a check down, but still.
Right, so here's the thing. The last 2 plays, Ohio State just got outsmarted, right? It was just a great play call at the right time. This one, they actually defended. The issue is, as you run it back, you'll see Shaun Wade picks this guy up, but who would have thought they're hitting the check down, right? This is a double reverse flea flicker trying to get, you know, a touchdown, trying to get the bomb.
Yeah.
But everyone covers it, everyone does right. Shaun Wade's on this guy, but the quarterback doesn't have any pressure, so Shaun Wade's like, hey, I'm going to put some pressure on this guy. He needs the check down on double reverse. I mean, that shouldn't even count as a trick play, right?
I mean, I looked for some this year that I was going to dig deep to last year with Iowa, another fake play on special teams, but I guess for the most part, when teams have started to get razzle-dazzle stuff against Ohio State, the pass rush doesn't really allow you to. I mean, it seems like it's a dangerous thing to try that against Ohio State.
It is very dangerous. We've seen some teams not be able to do anything, you know, especially with that pass rush. But, you know, we take it as, if you're the defense right now, if a team starts to throw trick plays at you, it means one thing.
They're done?
They're done. They don't think they can beat you in their normal offense, right? So they start throwing these trick plays at you, and at some point when you stop them, even if it's for a 15-yard gain right here, it's a confidence booster, because then guess what? These guys are lining up the next play saying, you know what? If you keep it coming, if you can't, you know you can't beat us. You know the way you run your normal offense. So trying them trick plays. We already saw one. We already know maybe you got one more up your sleeve. Bring it.
How much time do you think would be spent preparing, looking at Chris Petersen, looking at Statue of Liberty, looking at other crazy stuff he's done?
Not much, but it's one of those things where I'm sure those guys will just have a rundown, have a script of the plays that Chris Petersen has shown in the game. I'm sure they'll also draw up their own trick plays based off of some of the formations that he's shown them in. Ohio State's great with that, especially during bowl practice. That scout team will draw up some random trick plays to give the defense, and that's just teaching you to read and react. It goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning. The coaches are going to have the scout team throw in so many more looks at this defense than what they'll normally see, or that they will see in the Rose Bowl, that the defenders are going to learn to read and react and be able to see when something's up.
Always be prepared when playing Washington. Chris Petersen, Ohio State, has a month to get ready for the Rose Bowl. That should help. They'll be looking at that. Zach Boren will be looking at everything, defense, offense, special teams for us right here at Lettermen Row on BuckIQ. He's Zach Boren. I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time.